Well, hello. Say hi, where you from, who's painting with you. I can't believe it's Tuesday again. I think I say that every week. I'm also live on TikTok, and I gotta tell you, I look 21 on TikTok. All right. There we go. I haven't poured paint yet, so I'll quickly start doing that while I wait for the comments to start appearing. You'll notice that it's a little bit slow. Diana is here. Hello, hello. Stacy is here from Cincinnati. Welcome, welcome. Patty, my friend from Port Moody. Welcome. Just pouring paints here. Catherine is here from Newfoundland. Hello, hello. Cindy Thompson. Barb is here. Christina. Oh, Krishna. Sorry. Darlene. She's from Newfoundland too. Not painting tonight. That's all good. Allison is here. It's so neat. I saw in the event, it said that we'll have like close to 200 people said going, and normally there's a little bit more. We'll see. It jumps so fast. Bellflower, Cynthia, Bremerton, we've got Sherry. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Miriam. Oh, that's Miriam's daughter, right? Drumhaller, Clarice. Hello from Texas, Adriana. Melissa from Victoria. Annika from Winnipeg, Veronica from Duncan. Crystal is here. She's from Langrus, Manitoba. Welcome, welcome. Monica. Oh my gosh, I can't keep up. Donna from Georgia. Jackie from Nevada. Ruth from Puerto Rico. Welcome, welcome. Wendy, and she's from Chrome Mill 101. Good evening. Did I say that right? Mile 101. I'm slow, sorry. Sherry is here. Hello, hello. Cindy from, I missed it, Houston, Texas. There we go. I got one friend to join. She might be late. That's all good. Princeton is in the house. Hi, Alana. Sharon from Campbell River. Eileen from Calgary. Jennifer from Victoria. Melissa from Chilliwack. Alicia from Kansas. Genevieve from New York City. Hello, hello. Sandra from Wisconsin. It is so nice to see everyone. What colors are you doing? So I've done this one a few times. And I normally go cooler colors on the inside, warmer on the outside, or warmer like this one and then cooler. But I'm thinking I might change it up tonight. But I'm going to show you how to blend colors. So if you want to go for really bright like this, then go for it. You can do pastel colors. I still haven't decided. I got black and white on my palette, and I still can't decide what colors I want to go for. Oh, look at all these names. Let me see. New York City I got, Wisconsin I got, Avea from Washington, Sherry from Olympia, Sharon, Arizona, Julie from Cloverdale. Hi, I'm in Cloverdale too. I love butterflies. Looking forward to this painting. You're going to love this one, Genevieve. It's so fun to do. Alicia's here. She's in Cloverdale too. Janie's here from Burnaby. Ida's here from Texas. Doris from Delta. I missed Friday's live. Can I see it somewhere? So Friday was a paid event. So if you paid for Friday night and you go to the event, you'll see the video in there. Vanessa in Vancouver. Hello, hello. So excited to be here. I'm excited to have you. Jackie from Oregon. Thank you, Frida. Vanessa means butterfly. Oh, that's awesome. Barb from Spokane. I am in Cloverdale, which is Surrey, BC in Canada, British Columbia. Bokane, Barb, I said hello. Where I love butterflies. I'm from Coquitlam. Hi, Lisa. Wendy is watching. Sabrina from Nanaimo. Jean from Vancouver. K-Dog's in the house. Hello, K-Dog. How are you? Ruth from University Place, Washington. Hello, Ruth. Alrighty. I guess I need to decide what colors I want to do. These tough decisions. Isn't life wonderful when choosing colors is your tough decision for the day? Jocelyn is here from Drumheller, Alberta. Amir is here. Hello, hello. What colors have you guys decided on? Sarah is watching from Texas. Welcome. So many people from Texas in here. Modesto, CA. That's either California. Some people put CA for Canada. And it's Erica. Laura is here from Victoria, BC. Rita, hello, hello. What time is it? Just after 6. Rhonda is here, reminding us all to breathe. I see you changed your profile picture. I can't see what it is, but I might be pastel colors. Oh, I like the idea of pastel colors. Rita is from Alberta. Kelly, Arizona. I'm good. How are you, Frida? Feels like I haven't been on for weeks. I know, it feels like that. Oh, Sherry is going for purples. Patty is doing pinks. When I did this one, it's almost a year ago. Can you believe it? We had 600 people in that event. I got to tell you, my knees were shaking. But when I go back on the video, I'm as calm as can be. And people were doing, there was one that I remember that did like pastel pinks and purples, and she used silver little highlights. Gorgeous. The photos are, if you go back onto my photos where I did my selfie, you'll see the butterflies in there. Love the pastel colors. So neat with the black outlines and the white dots. So gorgeous. New photo is your puppy that passed away New Year's. Oh, what a way to remember, right? Just put the photo up there. All the good memories comes to mind. It's after 8 in Wisconsin. Yes, I know for those that's on the other side of Canada, it's probably 9 o'clock already, right? His name was Mac. Oh, there we go. All right, so what colors? I'm gonna grab my yellow. I'm gonna grab this yellow. I think I'm gonna go for yellows and oranges in here. And reds and pinks on the outside. Let's do that. Jenny says, coming up for 1 year painting with me, which all started with a night of painting an owl with you. Yes, my mum was here when we did the owl, right? Remember? And I think she did the gold one. I remember. Is this video for purchase afterwards? Yeah. It's in the membership afterwards, but I do have one that I'll make available if people want to pay for it, because I have some of them on my online school. Oh, thank you, K-Dog. See you soon. All right, so I'm going to go with yellows and oranges on the inside, and I'm going to go with pinks and reds on the outside. So I'm using, I'll show you what I'm using. So this is Demco, and I'm using the premium yellow, primary yellow, sorry. And then I've got a cad orange, and this is Chroma. If you're in Canada, local brand, they're right here in Vancouver. Fabulous stuff. Love their paint, and I think I took too much orange, but that's okay. I'll just paint with it afterwards. All right, so I got that, and then I'm going to use 2 reds. This one is from Chroma 2, and then I've got a bright orange red. So I'm going to put two reds on here. The one is a warmer red and the one is a cooler red. So I'll do that. If I can get it open. Yes, these are all heavy-bodied acrylic paints. But this one was done with craft paints. So all the previous ones I did was with craft paints, but this one craft, and now I'm using a heavy body. That's my palette. Very warm, lots of warm colors for tonight. Warm colors. I might throw in some blue just because I can. So you'll need brushes. We're going to need a bigger brush for the background, for the bigger spaces. I've got a medium-sized brush. So bigger brush, medium-sized brush, and then I have a small round. And we're going to use this one to do the outlines. Or maybe not that one. You guys ready to start? It is 6:07. I think we should start painting. Christy is here from Bremerton. All right, so I'm going to guide you step by step. If you feel your inner artist want to come out to play, just let her out. I've seen many people change this up and do different things. Don't hold back. If you want to do 2 butterflies, maybe turn your canvas this way. 2 facing each other, you can do that. And I'm going to start off with my small round brush. This one's got a bad hair day, but that's okay. Start off with that one. Wet your brush. And I'm going to do my outlines with orange. You can use one of the colors that you're going to use on the insides, or even on the outside, because it's going to be covered in black, so it doesn't matter. Right, so use this one. I'm going to start off with some oranges. And I'm just dunking my brush, filling it up with paint. You want to fill it right up. Push down, roll your brush. Take a deep breath in. And then I'm going to show you how to draw. We're going to do the wings. And we're going to paint the outside and then the inside. And then we're going to do the black. And the last thing we do is the body. So don't worry too much about where this, or how to shape this little guy over here. Right. So right at the bottom here on the side, just make a little mark like this. This is where it's all going to start. So right at the bottom, if you break up your canvas in thirds, it happens in that bottom right corner there, more to the top. So that's step 1. Hold on, let me get rid of that little welcome message. There we go. How's that? See, I'm getting better with this thing. All right, so we're going to start here. And you're going to do a curved line that goes all the way up to the top. All right, go all the way up. I've got a shaky hand today, so I'm putting my hand down a little bit. And you're going up. See where I'm heading to? It's still at the top here. It's just curved. Right, because we're doing 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3 pieces. And then you're going to go make it round at the top, and then you're going to bring it right back to here. Put it down. It's okay if you make it too curvy. We're going to paint all that, so it's all good. You did this little line and then curved up, make a big turn up here, and then go back. If yours doesn't look exactly like that, bear with me. It all comes together. We're going to go back on this same line, and this time you're going to go up. See, towards this corner here, you're going to go up and then do this curl in and then come back down to this side. See here? Take a deep breath again. You're going to go up, do a curl, like go round back, go in and then out and then back that way. What you can do is hold your hand in the air like this, kind of do it in the air before you go. You don't want to go too low here because we want to add another little bit at the bottom there. Up, round it, but we're not going back in. We're just going to do a little curve like that and then go back like this. All the way back there. Whichever color you choose, Genevieve. I wouldn't go for something really strong like a dark blue or black. Use one of the colors that you're going to blend with. Antoinette, yes. So this stays on Facebook for 24 hours and then afterwards it moves to my membership. I just wanted to pop by and show some love. Oh, Kasia, I'm sorry to hear that. We hope you can paint with us real soon. How's everyone doing? Are you breathing? And then I add, same as this little one I have up here, just one little loop. I add one at the bottom here. So starting back here, and I'm adding a little one like that. You might be sitting there using some white paint to get rid of some lines. You want to get rid of some lines, like I don't want that there. You might be redoing lines. It's all good. Don't rush. You can do it, Katie. What size canvas? So I am on a 12 by 16 canvas. Joe Hill, hello, hello. Welcome. Patty is here, also from New York City. Welcome, welcome. And Louise is here from Quebec. Patricia is just here to say hello. Oh, she's doing deep cleaning. Love you and your talent. I love you too, Patricia. I love all these people that just pop in to say hello. Manveer, I am here. Just got home. We'll surely paint tomorrow. There you go. It will be there for you tomorrow. So tomorrow, this time, it moves to the membership. There's already one in there, but sometimes it's fun to look at different versions. The same painting. All right, so we have 146 people online. Let's say if I have 10 ready, so just type in ready, then I'll move on to the next step. Also know that it does take a little bit of time for the messages to come through. So if I'm not responding, it's not because I don't see it. It just takes a minute to come through. Crystal says it's her 60th painting since March 2020. Not all the paintings were done with Frida. Oh, I know people are painting. There are just so many people doing this. I love it. I love it. And I have to say, I paint with lots of people myself. Hi there. Sorry, it's a little late. Ruth from Checkman. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I see lots of readies. Okay. So we're going to paint the background. So painting the background. So I'm going to play between with my two reds that I have. And I'm going to add some whites in there. So they're going to be pink. And one of my reds is a little bit more, when I add white to it, it goes into a salmon color. I'll show you now. And I might just throw in a little bit of yellow just to spice it up a bit. But anyway, I'm going to show you how I paint with multiple colors and blend it together. If you are wanting to use multiple colors on your background, I'm going to show you on the wheel here. When colors are closer to each other on the wheel, they blend much better. So you'll see that on this one, I have the orange, the reds, the yellows, and they're all right here, close together. So they're going to blend pretty good. I have greens and blues in the background, but they're all together on the wheel. I'll show you here. They're all together here, a little bit close together. Right. So if you have a color wheel and you can't decide what to do, just know that the colors that's across from each other, when you blend these two together, they're going to make either a brown or they're going to make a gray color. So purple and yellow is going to make a muddy grayish color. So if you like that, then you'll use these two. If you want to go for something more toned down or more grays, then you'll do that. If you use orange and like the blues, when I mix my orange, when I mix my brown, I take orange with a little bit of blue. So if you're going to do that for the background, you're going to have that muddy color with the orange and the blues together. So just know that. So if they're across from each other, I always say they make mud, but if they're close to each other, they blend really well. You'll see something like this. The colors are, it's easier to blend. Right. And then when you do blending, if you're not sure what the colors are going to look like together on your palette, just take a little bit of the color. I'm going to take these two, put it next to each other, and you can see, oh, this orange is so strong. You can see how they blend together. I'm going to take a little bit of red. If I put the red with these, you can see the color that those ones blend neat. Right. So on your palette, take the two colors you want to use, blend it or on a sheet of paper and see how it blends together. So we're going to paint the background and then we'll get back to the butterfly. All right. Re-show how to draw the butterfly again. Oh, I'm going to show you in a second. Let me just get the blending started and then I'll show you. All right. So I'm going to go with the reds on the outside and I'm going to start. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to have it a little bit darker closer here and then lighter as it goes out. So I'm using my bigger brush. I'm picking up some of my darker red. I'm not using that brush. Kids, don't leave your brushes with paint water on them. All right, so a darker red. I'm going to start right here. Start painting. There's nothing else with this. This is just the red. And then as I move on, I'm going to start picking up a little bit of white, a little bit of red. My brush looks like that. And then a little further away, I start further and then I move back into that color. See what I mean? What a neat color that is. And that's this one from Liquitex. I would say the name, but I can't. I'll show you guys. All right, so a little bit more down here. Right, I'm going to wipe this red off my brush, picking up some white. Lots of white. I'm going to put it down here and then move my way back in there and see how it's blending down here. Take it all the way to the bottom. When you get over here, one of these colors will be, it can dry a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down, but when I get here, it's a much softer brush stroke. So I'm going to blend it in like this and much softer as I reach that color. So it's almost like I'm flicking away, picking up more white. If it's still wet, you'll be able to blend it all together. More brush strokes, more blended. If you like it streaky, then less brush strokes. All right. to start off to draw your butterfly, you're going to start with this area right here. And you're going to do a big loop that goes up like that. And then comes right back to the body at the top there. So that would be step one. We'll do that big loop. And when you do the second loop, this one's line is right on top of this one. And then you're going to break away on your way to this corner here. And you're going to do a little curve in like that, out again, but not at the bottom. You want to stay up here. And then go back to that same little area right there. And then you just add the third little loop down at the bottom. Let me know if that works for you. How about a light purple background? That sounds neat. Light purple. Remember I said I'm going to pick up a little yellow? I got very little yellow in here. I'm just going to work it in there. You want to go all the way around. Bring it closer. Play with a little bit of yellow in there. I'm picking up some of the darker red again. I'm actually playing between the two. Still with my big brush. Back up here. So you'll see now. Putting this down. See, we don't want that there. I'm going to show you how to get rid of that. Put this down. I just want to get all this paint off the brush. Blending, blending. And then just with the tip of the brush, I'm wiping most of the paint off. I didn't wash it. I'm going to softly just blend over here. Sometimes you don't need more paint to blend. You just need to move around what's already there. Quite often people go back into the paint and then they try and blend. But if there's too much paint, you're not going to have blending. Get rid of all that paint and then just with a clean dry brush, just blend all that together. I do want more of a highlight up here. So I'm just going to put it down, work it in there. And where I want these two to blend together, just a softer brush stroke, just softer. I want to get rid of all that. So now I'm pushing down with my brush to get all that paint out of the brush. And then I'll pick up more and blend it in there. And I don't pick up a lot of paint. What I do is I push down so the paint goes in between the bristles. There's not a heap of paint on there. And then I'm blending it in there. I'm gonna turn off that heater. I'm cooking. A light blue background with a purple butterfly. Oh yes, I know, so many ideas. So many ideas. Someone sent me photos a few years ago. She did this butterfly in so many variants, like so many different colors, all on little cards. And she handed those out for the whole year. She just had some time to paint. So she just painted a whole whack of them and then handed them out as gifts. What happens when red turns pink? So what I do is, if I want this more red, I would let this dry and then go with like do an overlay of red paint, like a glaze. Because when you add white, it does go, it's going to go like a pinkish color. If you are Something else you can use with a red is in this one, I must almost say, like, you could use yellows to go more orange, or you could use a little bit blue to make a deeper red, or maybe black. Sometimes I use blue to make my reds a little bit darker. Here where the color comes together, you can see that this part is dry and this is all wet. So I'm going to paint this, and when I'm done, I'm going to use a clean dry brush just to blend and make that a little bit smoother over there. I'm not washing my brush, I'm just rubbing off all the excess paint. You can see that there's still some paint in there, which I'm all good with. So see these lines here? I don't want those lines. So I'm just going to move my brush, clean dry brush, and just going to blend. The reason why it's blending like this right now is because the lighter color isn't that dry yet. But if it's dry, it's not going to blend. It's going to sit on there. If you want to use, I know some people suggest using a little bit of water to help with the blending. If you're doing that, I suggest having your canvas flat, because if you're up like this and you're using water and it starts running, it lifts the paint that's there, and then you have to repaint the whole area to get the paint down. But now the canvas is wet, so now the paint doesn't stick, and then one thing leads to the other, and then we have a canvas we have to repaint. So if you're blending away there and the one color is too strong and it just takes over the other color, you can use your paper towel and go and rub off that color that you have too much of. Literally rub it off the canvas, wash your brush, and then go in with the other color. So if you're going blue into green and the blue is just too strong and you can't get that green to show up, use that towel, rub off all the blue, and then go with the green and then work your way to the blue. Just some paints are so much stronger. I just realized how strong this orange is when I started working with it. The orange is just, it just depends on the pigment in the paint. And the only way to know, because it might say on the label, but the only way to know is to actually paint. Like I have this idea of what paint's going to be like, or you buy sap green from one company and sap green from another company, and they are so different. So the only way is to know is to play. Hello, TikTok. I only check TikTok because that filter makes me look 17. When you are ready to move on, let me know. And then we'll move on to this in here. So fun. I should have warned, this painting does take a little bit longer than all the others. Sharon is ready to go. Melissa is ready. Rhonda is ready. What colors did you choose, Rhonda? Did you go for the purple? And we're moving back to our small round brush. We're going to do some lines and then we're going to start blending. There's a lot of blending happening tonight. B is ready. Sherry is ready. Purple, yay. Crystal is ready. Stacy is ready. Three more readies, then we'll move on. Oh, I got to show you guys. Look at this cutie pie. Isn't that cute? I'm busy with the April paintings for the membership. And we got a bunny. And we got a bunny and we got our little duckling. They are so cute. And then there's two more coming. Hi Frida, it's Pat from Kent. Oh, there we go. It changed your last name. You know, it's so funny when someone changes their name or their profile picture because I get used to the little icon that comes up. I'm like, who's there? Who's speaking to me? All right, shall we move on? I think so. Ready, Freddie? Thank you, Ruth. I needed that one. Okay, so now we're going to do these little insides here. So you want to draw them out. You want to fill up these spaces. So you'll see in this one here, I have two little loops. Sometimes I do them and then there's three little loops in there. And then this one, you'll do your loops. And what I do is when they're in here, they're a little bit longer. And then these ones a little bit shorter. But you do want some space where the black's going to go. So make the space smaller than you think they need to be. Because I've gone in and I think, oh, I should be about down here. And then that is just too much space. So go quite high up when you do those lines. See this? I'm talking about this area here. Because when we start doing the black, rather do too much. Because when we start doing the black, you can cancel some of the lines out. You can go a little deeper in. You can really fill it up with the black. So go a little bit bigger so we can do all the blending. And then with the black, you can define how big you really want these to be. Right. So I'm going to go and do a little loop in here. And then whatever is left is going to be that second little piece of color. All right. So I start down here. And I'm going to go up just a little bit away from the line. All the way up like that. And then all the way down. And then do the next one. I might bring this out a little bit more. And then the next one, I'm not going to redo that line. I'm just going to take it up like this. See how it all comes together? That's the first one. That's that one over here. And then you start doing the next one. And you can go really close to that line. Don't worry about figuring out the black lines now. We'll worry about that later. Right. Picking up more paint. If you're finding it hard to do the lines with the heavy-bodied acrylic paint, just using a little bit of water to thin out the paint. You kind of play with it so it becomes like an ink consistency. Roll your brush. When you pick it up and there's a drop, you have too much water, then more paint. Blend it, and then we do the lines like that. So I'm going to do this next one. I'm going to take it quite high up. So I'm not going to redo the whole line. Just from here, quite high up here, make my little loop, and then go all the way down. I lift my hand up when I go back down so that I can I don't want to go too far and I don't want to go in too quickly because I still want that little shape here. I want it to taper in. See there? Nothing fancy, just lines, thick lines with acrylic paint. I'm going to do the next one. I want to go a little bit wider with it, a little bit wider. And I'm not redoing the whole line. I'm just going to start up here. A little bit puffier than that one. And then take it back into that one. Sometimes they don't work out. When I get to the bottom, I have to make like a weird little shape at the bottom. When you start painting in the black, it all comes together. So if your lines don't work out, just breathe. It's all good. We're going to go for expression and not perfection tonight. And if anyone asks you, you just say, I planned it. I planned it this way. What color are you using? I'm still using the same one I did my outline with. I would use the color that you're going to use mostly on the inside here. I wouldn't use blue if you're going to use pink and reds. There, but you could, because you could just blend that in. If you are using a color that you're not going to blend with, just let the canvas dry because it's acrylic paint. If you're using acrylic paint, you can just paint right over it. Do we really have to breathe? Only if you want to. See, I used to check on people in the studio all the time because I didn't want any cases in there. Here, I just need you to breathe. Don't send me messages. Frida, because I passed out last night, I didn't finish the painting. I forgot to breathe. Please breathe. Right, are you guys doing good? And see how tiny this one is compared to the others? Don't judge these little lines, just do them. They all come together. I go further down as I do them. It's all good. See this weird little space here? I'm going to change things up there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this one up here like that, and then I'm going to turn this into a loop like this. I'm going to do two. Maybe this is just going to be one. If you have space here to do two, then do two down there. I'm just going to do one for this one. That one's got one. That one just has that extra. Oh, this one I actually painted in. So that's how I normally do the butterfly, like that. And then I added an extra little bit down here. I have another one here, which I never finished. But there's another one I did. Very different. See how short these ones are? And these two are quite long. Yes, breathe. And don't clench your jaw. Rest. Yes. Drop your shoulders. I'm slowing down. I just needed to get those lines done. Good idea to breathe or just fall over. Take a nap. My unfinished one, thank you. Thank you, thank you. We just need some dots. I love the colors in here. You can see how much I played with the blending. A little streaky, but it's all good. And then up here, where the blue comes into the green. Oh, there's some white there. I used to have these paint nights where we use the black lights in my art studio. So when the paintings were hanging on the wall with the black light, the canvas would just, wherever it's white and not painted, it would be, is it fluorescent? It would just shine. The purple light would just bring out everywhere where my canvases were not painted. So they look beautiful in daylight, but when they came up, like little bits like this, and even, oh, there's little dots here and there where the canvas is not properly covered, and down here, these would just glow on my paint nights. So I had to cover those canvases. It looks so strange. Cheers. Chardonnay helps. Yes, Ruth. What are you guys drinking tonight? I'm having Corona. Just curious, were your in-person paint nights before? No, I know. People used to pay to come to my studio. I just started doing the free ones when COVID hit, because I know how good painting is for people. So I thought I'll just do some free events just to help people relax. And last week I had my 100th free event and celebrated 1-year anniversary of doing free events. So it's just something I wanted to do. But before, people used to pay to come and paint at the studio because they pay for the supplies. They didn't bring their own, so when they came to the studio, I'll provide them with paint and brushes and everything. Ginger ale for Katie. Ew, Corona. I know, they should change the name now. The marathon was wonderful, but I was exhausted at work the next day. Oh, Paula, I know. Patricia's husband laughed at her because she actually took a nap the afternoon so that she could stay up for the 4-hour marathon, which is cute. Hello, Drew. Tribute to Shania. All right, let me know when you are ready to move on and we'll start blending. Blending in all these colors, they are so fun to do. So fun. I just woke up from a nap with my 6-year-old. That just sounds wonderful. I had a rule: when the kids sleep, I sleep. That was the rule in our house. Patty, and we sang, yes. Yes, we did sing a lot. Are you talking about in the studio? I remember singing in the studio, and yeah, the music would be playing and people would be singing and painting. It was so wonderful. I miss humans. Ready, ready, ready. I see so many readies. All right. I am going to grab another brush. Just a few more readies and then I'll move on. If you feel like you're falling behind, I post the video right after, so you'll be able to go back and skip and skip all the chit chat and get to the instruction, and then you can pause it and paint, and then you can skip ahead again. That's the great thing with the membership too. I get messages daily, even 4 o'clock in the morning, from people that sat behind the computer, they logged in, and then they finished their painting. Some people spend 3-4 weeks on a painting because you can do it at your own time, right? So neat. Okay, see, lots of readies. So I'm going to show you a few ways that I do the blending. I'm going to show you, the first way is how, by just painting one of these little bits, one color. So I'm going to start off with this one. So you can maybe watch and then decide how you want to do it, but I'll show you. I'm going to go right on top of the lines. I'm going to paint this one all yellow. Just picking up paint. There's no water on the brush, it's just the paint. Lots of yellow. Like that. And then I'm going to pick up some of the orange. This orange is really strong, so I'm taking very little. And then I'm going to add it to the top here, like that. See how I just paint that on? I'm going to wipe my brush, and then I'm going to start blending this together, moving from the yellow into the orange and then back into the yellow. Wiping my brush, going back, and there I have the yellow that goes, the orange that goes into the yellow. We can add a little bit more. Let's do this area a little bit more, like that. So adding more, wiping my brush. I got an apron just for that, and then going like that. When you're blending together, so when I get here, these colors are pretty blended. It's a very soft brush stroke. So you're literally just barely touching and then just blending those together. You are just moving the paint around. When I apply the paint, you can see my brush literally folds over like that. That's how I apply the paint. But when I blend, I go a little bit softer. And then the other way I do it, I'm going to do this big one down here. I like to play around too. So I'm going to go with the colors that's in the back. Yeah, I'll do this. I'm going to do a red. Half of it, I'm going to do red. Go right onto your lines that you drew. Go right on top of that. So red like that. So you could do blue here. And then you do green at the bottom. So watch my brush. If you have multiple brushes, grab another brush. I'm going to grab some yellow. I'm going to paint this area all yellow, right underneath, not touching yet. Like that. So this red I know is much stronger than the yellow. So I'm cleaning my brush, just wiping it. I'm not washing it. And then I'm going to blend these two together like this. So in between the two. And then wiping again, and then going from the yellow into the red, and then back down again. Into the red, and then back down again. Right, see all those little brush strokes in there? By dragging my brush, I'm getting rid of it. And every time I drag it out, I'm wiping my brush. I need to show you, wipe. And then I drag it again. And that's how I get those softer blends. See how it's really bright here? I want it a little toned down, so I'm going to go from the red into the yellow like this, and then blend. And then go from the yellow. And you can play for hours like that. A little bit softer. Right, so do two colors. So you can go red and then red and purple, and then blend the two together, whichever colors are close to each other. See over here? Red and purple, your oranges and yellows, yellows and greens. These two, like colors that are closer together are way more fun to play with. It's not so stressful unless you've tested on your palette to see what purple and green does, or what purple and yellow does. Frida. Mint green with baby pink. So they are opposites. So on your palette, I would test those two. Because they're mint, and if you're using a craft paint, they're probably going to blend okay. Because they have a lot of white pigments in them. So I would test just to see what happens when those two become together. So take some mint green, paint a little bit on your palette or on a piece of cardboard, and then paint the other one, and then bring them together with a clean dry brush and see if that works. You guys breathing? Right, so in most cases when I do this, you'll see that I work one color at the top, a little bit different on the other side. So down this way. I normally don't do, but you could do it. You can make this area lighter and then go darker down. So maybe really light over here, and then you blend it softer down that way. You could do that too. You can do anything you want to. But I'm going to play with these colors in my butterfly. I like the idea of lots of yellow. I don't think I've done with too much yellow. See this? Oh, I am going with some of the colors, but there's some yellow in there. But I want more yellow. I want more yellow. So I'm going to go paint it in here. I thought I was in that one. Lots of yellow. And paint on top of your drawing lines. So cover those two. If you don't cover all of it because of your paint color, we're going to do the black on top anyway. So don't stress too much if it's not, like this yellow is not covering the orange, but I'm all good with that. I'm going to take a little bit of orange and blend that top here. Putting it down, wiping my brush, and then blending this together. Oh, I think a colorful butterfly on a gray background will be really neat. I need a different yellow. Let's try chroma, Benzie yellow. I love the paint. I don't like the tubes. These little lids, so I can't get them off. Thank you so much. Just little shades. Putting some red down. I'm going to play with some orange in that one. Didn't mean to take a nap. That's all right. I'll bring it closer so you can see. Some of the blending is better than others. Oh, where's the camera? And when you do the black around it, it just pops. It is amazing to see when the black goes on. A little bit, quite a few people actually get a little nervous when we do the black, but it is so fun. So, so fun. Just adding a little red in here, not too much. The more you move your brush, the more the colors blend. Are you guys breathing? How's it going? Can you believe we've been painting for an hour already? It only felt like 15 minutes, I know. So funny. I'll never forget one night I was painting at the studio, and I can't remember the whole what happened, but I did phone my husband to say that I started this painting before I had a paint party for a birthday party. So I'm going to finish the painting up, but I'm going to be home really late. So I said, oh, it's all good. And he gets up for work at 4 a.m. Anyway, I was busy painting and then I could hear the birds hours later. So I jump in my car and I drive home. And as I get into bed, his alarm went off. And he goes, did you just get home? I'm like, oops, I painted right through the night. It was too funny. Yes, Rhonda, time flies when you're having fun. Look, I can do that. Oh, there we go. Just beautiful. Two more to go. And we're going to start doing the black. And then we're going to paint these little circles on top after that. Let me fill in these two, and then we'll get to that. I know you're probably still busy blending, but I'm just going to talk about the black so I can get some down. I'm going to use my smaller brush and I'm going to pick up some black paint. So the black paint, and if you're not there, it's all good. Just right after I post the video, and then you can play and go back and re-look at certain parts. It's all good. I love that we're being very quiet. It's my favorite part when it goes so quiet. Everyone's concentrating. And Patty, isn't this the part where everyone starts singing when the music was playing in the studio? All right, so all I'm doing is playing with a little bit of black paint. a little bit of water in the black paint, just thinning it out so I can do lines. And then I roll my brush just to bring all the bristles together. And then I'm going to start doing some of the outlines. And before I do that, I just want to bring this a little bit in like that. And I'm just going to start doing the outline. And I'm literally just going to start dragging my brush out. Like this. I go around here and I go right on top of these lines that you see. So I'm going to do those, paint all this black, and then I'm going to stand back and then see if I want to make this bigger or smaller. And sometimes you do that right after, like you paint all of them in, and then you realize some of them needs to be bigger, some of them needs to be smaller. It's magic happens with the black. So I want to do that part. That. Then I go up here. See what happens when the black goes down? Everything pops. There we go. See, it's not very round over here, so I'm just going to go in, make it a little rounder, like that. Small round brush. So use your small round brush for the outlines. If you want to do really thin lines, then use a liner brush for in between. But I find this is a size 8 round, and this one works for me. And just bring everything, all the black, back down to this area. Real cool. Thank you, thank you. I think I forgot how long this painting takes. It takes really long. You can spend hours on it. It's quiet time again. Kids love the butterfly. Dora is 8 and Son is 6. Thank you, thank you. It's a fun painting to do. Breathing and thinking. Wow, that's coming together. Thank you, thank you. It's neat. It's neat to see, especially if you have a room full of people, to see this butterfly come together. I did it for a cheerleading group fundraiser event. I can't remember. There was a lot of people in the room, and the colors was just absolutely amazing. Everyone did all these vibrant, bright colors. Oh, that's awesome. I remember when I started painting, as soon as I have to get to the black, I get a little nervous. Breathing and drinking. That's good. I should start drinking. My black is a little see-through, so I'll have to do a second coat in a little bit. You can just see. But I want that to dry so I can show you the dots. But you want to go in between. You have to go in between too. I'm just not ready for that. It's like magic to see the painting now come together, right? Breathing and drinking. Oh, I need a different black paint. Since closing the studio, I've been very adventurous to try all kinds of acrylic paints and trying some local brands. And I've definitely found some favorites. I'm currently using my full bit brush to do these lines in between. I feel I do a little bit better with a flat brush than with the round brush. So I'm just going in and dragging it out like this, all the way down. So instead of the round brush, just to use the tip, my hand just shakes too much, and I seem to have better control with this brush. So sometimes just try a different brush, and you'll only know what works for you when you try it. I see so many comments when people ask advice. When you're in a paint group and you're asking, so I want to do this, what do you suggest? Take everyone's advice, but then go and practice what people are saying, because what works for me won't work for you, what works for someone else. And the other thing is our brushes aren't the same. It's much easier if you're in a class and they provide you with everything. But if you're painting, and I see it so many times, people say, you just told me exactly what to do. I'm using this kind of paint and it doesn't do the same as mine. That's a scary point. I don't have a light hand. Just a tip. I kind of, sometimes you have to hold with the other hand, put the brush down and then drag, or have another finger down on the canvas. And when you drag like that, it kind of guides your hand. And see, this is my hand when I just hold my brush. So I like to hold my hand, that helps. And I seem to find when I put the brush down, I have now learned with the trimmer, as soon as the brush goes down, then I kind of have more control. As soon as it's on the canvas, I've learned how to manage it so that I can get a straight line. I really use a round brush as it's not precise, right? And I've already taken out another flat brush, this one, to help if I struggle with the lines too. It's so much easier with a flat brush because you can really bring those bristles in. See how flat that is? You can really do a thin line with a brush like this. Are those colors great? I normally do warm and cold. I don't think I've done one with just warm colors yet, and I like it. It looks good. Oh yes, lie the canvas down to outline. Yeah, especially because we write like this and doing outlines, it's a little bit easier when you're down like this. I have to have some kind of if I'm doing really detailed work, I need something to hold my hand up. With these bigger, bolder, a little bit easier. All right. How is everyone doing? Where are you? Are you still blending or are you doing outlines? Sometimes with the blending, we can do it for hours. So don't stop. You can, and you don't have to finish it today. You can finish it another day. When that inner artist wants to blend the whole night, she wants to blend. I'm just bringing all the lines together at the bottom here. I'm on outlines. Okay. Outlines, outlines. Oh, I want to show you something else. When you find, see this little area is quite big here. You can do these little veins in there, or little, what is the English word? Like pleats, like little folds in the wings, like in here. See how I just have little black lines that just goes out like that? You can add those in there too. So, and I started doing that just to fill up a little bit of the space. And if you're doing these top ones, have a little bit of a curve. So follow the shape of your that little colorful piece. So for each one you kind of do. So I wouldn't do one in that one because it's quite small. See this really bright orange one? But I would do one in this one. I might do one right there, maybe in that one. I'm going to use this. It's just a flat brush. If you can use the filbert one, I just find that it's been in the hot water, so the bristles are quite soft. So I don't want to use it. So I'm just going to put it down and drag it up and kind of flick my brush. I'm going to do one here. Do one there. Just little pleats like that. I do want to fill this one up a little bit. Little lines. I'm going to do another one in there. See, slightly curved. It's fun, like I can do some here. I think I want to do a whole flower like this. Wouldn't that be neat? Butterfly flower. Gosh, I'm busy with one painting and then I'm building 10 others in my head. Looks very easy when you do it. It's so vibrant, love it. Thank you, thank you. Can't wait to see your photos, to see all the colors and so when I do those lines, I literally just, you want to put your brush down, so flat like this, drag slightly curved, and when you get to the end, you kind of flick it away from you. Put it down. So I use warmer water to wash my brushes, and these bristles are still very firm. So it's easier with a firmer brush than with a brush where the bristles are really soft. All right, so I'm going to show you how I do this little body, and you can see that. So I'm going to do a little head here, and then it's got this little piece that just a curved line, and it's bigger over here, and then it tapers out, so it becomes thinner, and then a little head. The other one, I'm going to bring that up. This one looks like it's doing a little boogie over there. So it's like a little curved line that goes like that, and then I gave it little tentacles and then the little head. So it's literally a line that I made thicker here and thinner as it goes down, and then rounded at the top. A weird little thing. Let's do, so I'm gonna go, this is where the head's gonna go, over here, like there, and then the body is, I'm gonna drag it out like this, and then I'm gonna make this bigger. That's it. So it's a shape like, if this is where the butterfly wings are, you're gonna go like that. And then this is a little bigger, like that. And I would probably bring it a little closer. And tentacles is two little lines, and I'm just going to do little dots at the tips. You guys breathing? I'll have that running at the bottom. Oh, and I love playing with circles. Random little twirls. I wasn't sure about the colors in the beginning, but this looks gorgeous. Thank you, Vicky. Hello, I'm just watching and I was holding my breath, right? All right. Before I forget, there's in the wings, you'll see that it has those little little circles with the different, they actually have different colors in them. So they're slightly different to the rest of the wing. So you can go and play with colors. If you're using yellow, so my yellow paint is a little translucent. So I would do a little bit of white if it's a darker color and put the yellow on top. Because if I do yellow on here, you're not going to see a lot of it. See, it's very translucent. I think that's enough color variant for me, but you'll have to do, if you really want the color to pop, then like a white and then do the color on top. Did someone say, mine looks pregnant? I've done that. So because we painted the background, see this one almost looks like, anyway, because we painted the background so long ago, and it could still be, this is dry and this is still wet. If you take a little bit of paper towel and clean water, just clean water on your paper towel, and then you can wash off some of the black paint. But that's if your canvas is dry. But we've painted, it's more than an hour ago that we painted the background. So by doing it really fast, you can still wash it off. I have washed off many little bodies of canvases. It literally, you can just go wash it off because it was so recent. See how I'm making this one smaller? By washing it off. But very gentle with a little bit of water. So if you make a mistake and your background's been dry for hours, you can wash off acrylic paint, but very little. Also, depends on the brand that you're using. If it's more like a craft or chalky paint, it might wash off the paint. But if you're using one of these, you should be able to kind of wash it off if you're really fast. If not, then you planned it. It's going to have babies. All right. So do these little colorful pieces. I'm going to do some orange ones. Some of them will have 2 dots. Others will just have 1. You can do 3. And they don't really stand out much when you do them. But as soon as you do those black circles, they just pop. So they don't have to be very different. See, it's quite subtle, but doing the circle around it will just make it pop. And I normally use the colors that's in the painting or in the wings. Little circles. I'm not very good with circles tonight. See the difference the black little circles on the wings make? You can do them in all these little color patches, or you can just do them in some. These ones, I just have them down here, but not that one and up there. That one's not finished, but I look like I did them in all the top ones. And some have 3 little dots. Unfortunately, I've had to do that technique. Now the slug has wings. Check your fingers. Oh. Love it, Vicky. Well, I'm holding my breath while painting the outlines. I still hold my breath all the time. All the time when I paint. How's everyone doing with outlines, with the dots? I like very much. Awesome possum. The last thing is just these little white dots. Still outlining. Take your time. Can you repeat how to do outside? The flicker, Vanessa? Are you talking about these little bits, or I don't know why I'm not understanding. Those curly thingies are really hard to do. I tool on everything, so they come so natural to me. I would suggest playing on just on a cardboard, but also what I find is your brush runs dry from paint before you're done. So the longer your brush's hair, the longer you can go, and also thin out your paint. So a heavy-bodied paint with a brush with shorter hair and less hair is harder to do lines, and that's why I thin it out. So I would use where is my liner brush? So I would use a really wet brush, so a lot of water with my heavy-bodied black paint, and I would literally mix in some water and paint and thin out the paint. And when I roll my brush, everything, the whole brush is in the paint, so that all the hair is full, like that. So right to the brush, right to the tip there. And then when you do lines, you can do longer lines because it sucks the paint out, so you should be able to do longer ones. On the inside, yes, you're gonna go inside, you pick up some paint, and then you're putting it down your brush. So I'm using a flat. You're putting it down and you're just flicking. And I do a little bit of a curve in my brush stroke. So you put it down, drag it, and then when you get to the end, you kind of lift your hand away from the canvas. So you're putting it down, dragging, and you lift your hand away so that it tapers out, like becomes thinner. All right, and then the last thing to do is all the dots, and I'm going to show you where I have them and how I do them. So I have, and I do the bigger ones first. So I go and fill up the space, and then I start doing the small ones in between. And I use, I have these dotting tools that I use. I use my brush. So sometimes I paint these little, I literally paint big white circles. So because I don't have a big enough dotting tool, you can paint the big ones in, and then the back end of your brush, you dot it in the white paint, and then you dot, dot, dot to fill up. So you can use all kinds of dotting, anything that can make a dot to fill up. So do the big ones first. So I do some big ones, and then I do smaller ones, and then I go fill up with really tiny ones in between. Some people just do the big ones and they love it and they stop right there. So do the big ones, walk away from your canvas, have a look at a distance and see, okay, I want to fill it up. And then you go in and you do all those little dots to fill it up like that. Right. Then other dots that I add is in here, I add just, it goes from bigger to smaller. So I would use a big one. If you do 2, 3, 4 dots, it becomes smaller and smaller. But again, practice with whatever you have. So the back end of a bigger brush, this one still has paint on it. So big one will give you bigger dots. So when you dot, 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 it becomes smaller and smaller as it runs out of paint. But I would taste on something else. and see what kind of brush gives you what dots. You're the best. Oh, thank you. All right, so put that down. I'm gonna use my brush to paint in some white dots to show you. I'm gonna do this one here. So I'm gonna do some bigger ones. Just paint it round and round like that. And then I start going smaller and smaller. And you can go in. I don't go all the way in. I would go in, and then they just become smaller and smaller as you go into these little areas. It kind of just stops. See, I haven't even done the small ones on this one. Just goes in like that. And that's how you do the dots. And see where these two come together, I would still just take it in maybe up to there, not too far down. Just little dots. I like just the few small dots. You did on each one, each curve, even if you didn't. Yeah, so sorry, I should read that out, right? Even if I didn't go in. And do, so that's what's really neat. You can do a few, stand back, see, okay, I'm gonna stop right here, or I'm gonna go bigger. What's really great is if you're doing this and you're like, you know what, I don't like this, then you take a little bit of black paint and you just cover it. Because it's on the black area, like you can just go and cover whatever you don't want. A little bit of black paint. Look at that, I got rid of the small ones. I love acrylic paints. I can't wait to see everyone's painting tonight. There we go. All right, so I'm going to post the video for those who want to go back to have a look more. But you want to finish up all your little dots. Remember, you can add these little tools in there. Oh, I love my dots. I have dots over here. I have dots in this little tool, so you can add more dots to it. If you're not done, you can post your photo now and then post after. If you redo it in different colors, come and show us. We'd love to see. What else did we do? I think that was it. And then I'll see you again next week. I cannot remember the painting for next week. But on April 1st, we have our bunny and our duckling and 2 more surprises in the membership for those who are there. And if you need more info on the membership, I'll post those on there. On this selfie. So if you haven't been here before, I'll quickly do a selfie and then invite you to share your photos. It's neat for to go back and see what everyone has done, and everyone chats and have a look at everyone's paintings and have questions. And then I'll see you again next week. Awesome time. Do my breaking before show. Tweaking before show. There you go, Rhonda. Okay. All right. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.